Hi everybody, it's installment 4 of the Quarantine Plays. This is a piece called When If Becomes Is. At the top we hear a male coughing. The video is jostled about until it reaches his face. He's positioning it in some sort of stand so he can talk into the camera without holding it. Josh. There. The camera falls over. Shit. Belvedere. Damn cat. Josh struggles to get the camera to stay in the makeshift holder. The camera goes off. Blackness. The camera comes back on and is situated correctly. Alright, maybe this will work. Josh takes a deep breath. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. I just talked to you yesterday, and it's not like I'm never going to see you again. Josh coughs again. I'm sure it's not the virus. If it was, I'd be all achy and sweaty and stuff. I'm fine. I really am. Josh stares into the camera. I don't have any idea what you want me to say. I went outside into the courtyard. I made sure nobody else was out there. It was good to feel the sun on my face. Trees are starting to leaf out. I think I saw a butterfly. Maybe it was a moth. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was nice. I had soup from D'Agostino's for lunch. I have enough left over for dinner tonight. It was their bean soup. I'm not sure how you get it to taste so good. I've asked Mr. D'Agostino what's he put in it, and he just wags his finger and says, Non lo demero, mi amigo. A friend of mine says it means not today, little one, or something like that. He was a nice guy. He died last month. He was in the shop every day when the virus hit. He started doing takeout orders, and then he got sick and his son had to take over. He collapsed in the kitchen sometime in April. He was gone by May. I'm sure the shop was all that he had. He was such a nice guy. He always gave me extra bread. He said I needed to fatten myself up if I was ever going to get a girl. Girls don't like skinny boys. I guess he never figured it out. Josh adjusts the blanket around him. I get cold so easy. One minute I'm sweating like a pig, and then the next I'm shivering and wrapping myself in Grandma's quilt or the blanket we bought up in Door County. Remember that? We had that one nice day in the entire week we were up there. We couldn't wait to plunder every knick-knack and antique shop we could find. Eating caramel corn and that horrible taffy they had, it nearly pulled the teeth out of our gums. Do you remember sitting on the porch of the bed and breakfast sipping tea and watching the sunset? I really cherish that memory. He pulls a Kleenex out of his wipes and wipes his eyes. I'm so emotional today. God, I actually cried at an insurance commercial on Sunday. It had a little girl swinging and being pushed by her dad, and then they cut to an empty swing and the little girl standing there holding on to a baby doll looking all sad. The tagline was, Not everyone is ready for the future. Are you? I burst out weeping. You'd think at a time like this, they could be a little more sensitive. Freaking corporations. Josh wipes his nose with the Kleenex. But it did get me thinking. Am I ready for the future? You know, the far-off future. When this is over and we all go back to normal, whatever the hell that is. I'm sure nobody is ever really ready. I'm sure there's a certain amount of regret over things you wanted to do and didn't get done. And you always have things you wished you had said and never did. But I think I'm in a pretty good place if something happens. Not that anything is going to happen. Josh throws off the blanket. And now I'm burning up. After making up with Dad last Christmas and him actually giving me a hug, I'm in a pretty good place with my family. Jenny and I are finally back on speaking terms. Did I tell you we went out dancing last month? That's right, me, on a dance floor. Believe me, it was a sight to see. Most of all, it's finally realizing I'm never going to sing on Broadway or open a show on the West End. But I'm doing all right. I still have crushing student debt, and I could use a little more affection than I'm currently getting, but I'm all right. I miss you. Sometimes I bury my face in that ratty t-shirt you left here last time. I can't bring myself to wash it. It smells so much like you. sweat and smoke from grilling salmon and undertones of that Paco Rabanne you insist on wearing. I better stop before I get too maudlin. I love you and miss you and wish this damn thing would go away. Just go away and leave us alone. He starts coughing. And then he takes a deep breath. Bye, love. I'll send you something at the end of the week. Stay safe and wear that damn mask. I went to a lot of trouble making it for you. That Hello Kitty material was not easy to find. The least you can do is wear it. We'll talk later. Bye. He blows a kiss towards the camera. The camera goes black. The camera comes back up after a pause.
Hi, David, it's Jenny. We met last time you were here. By now, I'm sure you've heard Josh passed last night. I came over to get the cat. I'm taking him home with me. I wanted to make sure the apartment was closed up. Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. I've known Josh since we were in the 3rd grade. He was my first boyfriend before he figured out who he was. I've held his hand and he's held mine our whole lives. And now when he needed to be held the most, we couldn't touch. Oh, it's just so unfair. He was so strong. You need to know that. He tried and tried to get better. But this thing took all the strength out of him. When they put him on the ventilator, he knew he was pretty bad. He couldn't talk, so he'd send notes to us. The nurses would spray them down with disinfectant and hand them to us like they were ancient artifacts. I've got a couple for you. I'll put them in the post. It's first thing tomorrow. He really loved you. You have to know that. Before he came down with this, he would talk non-stop about all the things he was going to do when he moved to Austin to be with you. I have never seen him so happy. Did he tell you he was taking dancing lessons with me? He said it was so he could dance with you at your wedding. He didn't want you to know. He wanted it to be a surprise. I guess I ruined it. Sorry. I wish you could have been here. I wish he could have seen your face one more time. But I'm sure he's there with you now, looking over your shoulder, tickling the back of your ears like he did, telling you dirty jokes and messing up the punchlines, or singing those horrible show tunes. I think I miss those most of all. His mum and dad haven't made the funeral arrangements yet. I'll be sure to let you know when I know. I'm sure you can stay here when you come in if it doesn't hurt too much. You have my number if you need to talk or whatever. He used to say about you, whatever our souls are made of, they are the same. He said it was from Emily Bronte. He was always quoting the Bronte sisters. Take care of yourself, David. We'll talk soon. Bye.